Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're shining a light on something pretty fundamental to our spaces, something that impacts how things look, but also, well, our energy bills, blinds and shades.
Exactly.
We've got this really interesting 2025 market report giving us a detailed global view, so let's dig right in.
Absolutely. We're working with a Global Blind Shades Market Report 2025, the global edition from Cognitive Market Research.
Mm,
And it's more than just a snapshot.
right.
It really digs into the market size now, looks
Yeah.
ahead all the way to 2033, and breaks down all the different factors involved, product types, fabrics, regions, how they're sold.
And our mission here is really to pull out the key intelligence for you. We want you to get a solid grasp of the big trends, maybe some surprising growth areas, without drowning in, tons of data.
Precisely.
Okay, so let's kick off with the big picture. How big is this market globally, like right now?
Okay, so for 2025, the report estimates the global market at USD 17,840 million. It's a pretty substantial number.
17 billion, yeah, okay.
Yeah. But what's really striking is the growth forecast.
Yeah.
By 2033, it's expected to shoot up to USD 34,263.6 million.
Wow, that's nearly double.
It is. That works out to a compound annual growth rate, a CAGR, of 8.50% between 2025 and 2033. So like a steady, significant bump each year on average.
8.5% CER. That's really strong. What's driving that? I mean, it can't just be more houses being built, surely.
Well, new construction definitely helps, but a really big driver is how people are thinking about window coverings now. It's left purely functional,
Yeah, right.
and much more about style, how it fits the interior design. Plus, there's a growing demand for, like, customizable options.
Yeah, that makes sense. I know when I was sorting out my place, the windows were, well, they took some thought. Okay, geographically speaking, where's the biggest slice of this market right now?
Right now, North America is a leader. It holds over 40% of the global market share for 2025.
Over 40%. Okay.
Yeah, that translates to a market size of about USD 6,600.80 million. And the growth forecast for the region, the CAGR through 2033, is a solid 7.3%.
Okay, North America's leading the pack. If we zoom in a bit, any specific country trends there? USA, Canada?
Definitely. The U.S. is the main engine in North America. Its market size in 2025 is around USD 5,208 million, with a projected CAGR of 7.1%. And the report links that heavily to ongoing urban development.
Mm-hmm.
Canada's smaller, of course, USD 792.1 million in 2025, but its growth rate is actually a bit higher at 8.1%. And that seems partly driven by more people adopting home automation tech.
Smart homes, right.
Exactly. And Mexico is looking at about USD 600.67 million for 2025 with a CAGR of 7.8%.
Okay, so a strong established market in North America. What about across the pond? Europe must be significant too.
Oh, absolutely. Europe's another major player. It accounts for over 30% of the global share. The market size there for 2025 is estimated at USD 13,056.48 million, with a very similar CAGR to North America, actually 7.3%.
13 billion, wow, okay. And within Europe. Any standout trends or differences between countries?
Yeah, there are some interesting nuances. In the UK, for example, which has a market size of roughly USD 469 million and an 8.1% CAGR.
Higher growth there too.
Right. There's a really strong consumer preference for energy-efficient options, likely driven by energy costs and environmental awareness.
Makes sense.
Then you have France, about USD 476 million, 6.5% CAGR. And Germany, which is a big one, over $1 billion USD 1,024 million with a 7.5% CAGR. Their interior design trends seem to be a major factor.
Okay.
And of course, there are other key markets like Italy, Russia, Spain, and then slightly smaller but growing markets in Scandinavia, Switzerland, Luxembourg.
Yeah.
And the rest of Europe category is still pretty significant collectively.
Sounds like a diverse picture across Europe. Okay, let's shift gears to a region I imagine has huge growth potential, Asia Pacific.
You're absolutely right to think that APAC, as it's often called, currently holds around 23% of the global market. That's about USD 4,281.60 million in 2025.
Okay, about a quarter.
Yeah, but here's the key thing. Its projected CAGR is 11.3% from 2025 to 2033. That is by far the highest regional growth rate.
11.3%. Wow. Okay, what's fueling that kind of expansion in APAC?
Well, China is a massive part of it, naturally. Its market size is nearly USD 1.8 billion in 2025, with a 10.8% CAGR. That's really boosted by rising consumer spending power. But, the real standout in terms of rate of growth is India. Its market is smaller now, maybe USD 428 million, but the CAGR is projected at a huge 13.2%.
13%.
Yeah, driven largely by the boom in commercial spaces, offices, retail, that sort of thing. And then, of course, you've got significant activity in Japan, South Korea, Australia, Singapore, Taiwan, Southeast Asia. It's a very dynamic region.
That's some serious momentum. Okay, what about South America, another developing region?
South America accounts for just over 5% of the global share. Market size is around USD 678 million in 2025, with a pretty healthy CAGR of 8.9%.
Still strong growth.
Definitely. Brazil's the largest market there, but USD 290 million, growing at 9.5%. And an interesting trend there is a growing preference for eco-friendly materials.
Sustainability again.
Exactly. And Argentina, around USD 114 million, has an even higher CAGR at 9.8%, partly thanks to innovations like remote-control blinds becoming more popular. Then you have Colombia, Peru, Chile also contributing.
Okay, good overview. We've covered the big continents. What does the report say about the Middle East and Africa? Maybe smaller shares, but still growing.
That's pretty much it. The Middle East holds around 2% of the global share, roughly USD 714 million in 2025, but with a strong CAGR of 9.0%. Saudi Arabia is key, about USD 251 million, 9.3% CAGR.
Okay.
And the report flags some specifics, like online retail growing fast in Qatar, and a big focus on child safety compliance in Turkey driving some trends there.
Interesting local factors. And Africa.
Africa's the smallest region currently, around 1% global share, just under USD 400 million market size in 2025, but still growing at 8.2% CAGR. South Africa is the main market, about USD 138 million, growing at 9.1%. And Nigeria is also mentioned, with a notable demand for tailor-made, customized solutions.
Fascinating how those local needs shape things. Okay, let's pivot from geography. What types of blinds and shades are people buying most? Any dominant trends there?
Yeah, looking at product types, roller shades seem really popular. People like the sleek, clean look, and they're easy to use. Fits well with modern designs.
Right, simple and effective.
Exactly. And vertical shades or blinds, they're still the go-to for like really large windows, patio doors, and definitely in commercial spaces, offices and such.
Yeah, you see those a lot in offices. What about the materials, the fabrics?
Fabric-wise, synthetic materials still dominate the market share, mostly because they're, affordable and pretty durable.
Correct.
Right. But there's a definite uptick in demand for natural options.
Yeah.
As consumers get more eco-conscious, you see materials like bamboo, other sustainable fibers, really gaining ground.
That eco trend popping up again. Okay, how about controlling them? Is everything still manual cords and wands?
Well, manual systems are still the most common, largely because they're cost-effective, but automated blinds are really gaining traction.
Ah, the smart home effect.
Exactly. Driven by that whole smart home integration trend, the convenience of using your phone or, voice commands to adjust your blinds is becoming a big draw for many.
I can definitely see the appeal of that. Okay, who's buying these? Is it mostly homeowners, or is the commercial side a big chunk too?
The residential segment is actually the largest and the fastest growing area right now.
Oh, interesting. Faster growing too.
Yeah. It links back to those home improvement trends we see, plus people being more aware of energy efficiency in their own homes. But the commercial side is growing strongly too, don't get me wrong. Urbanization means more office buildings, more retail spaces, and businesses are also looking for those energy-efficient solutions.
Makes sense. And distribution? Where are people buying them? Is everyone just clicking online now?
Online channels are definitely growing rapidly. No surprise there, right? Convenience, huge selection.
Sure.
But interestingly, traditional offline channels like specialty stores, department stores, home improvement retailers, they still hold the majority of the market share.
Really? Even with online growing so fast?
Yeah. It suggests a lot of people still want to, see the product, touch the fabric, maybe get some personalized advice before they buy. That tactile experience still matters.
So a bit of both worlds still. Okay, stepping back for the bigger picture again. What are the main forces really pushing and pulling this market? The key drivers and maybe the restrats?
Okay, key drivers. Definitely that rising preference for sustainable materials. We keep mentioning bamboo, recycled stuff. Also, easier access and customization through online platforms.
Yeah.
And stricter safety and fire regulations are actually pushing innovation too.
Right, making products better and safer.
Exactly. On the flip side, potential restraints.
Yeah.
Well, the real estate market can be unpredictable, right? Fluctuations there impact new construction demand.
Sure.
And there's pressure on the more traditional manufacturers to kind of get on board with the smart home tech, the automated solutions.
Adapting to change. Okay, sounds like a market definitely in motion. What about key trends to watch, things likely to become even bigger?
The report points strongly to increasing demand for insulating blinds. That connects directly to energy efficiency and saving on heating or cooling costs.
Yeah, practical savings.
Solely. And also that trend towards made-to-measure blinds and highly personalized designs just keeps growing. People want something that fits perfectly and reflects their specific style.
Right, the customization aspect again. It seems to be a mix of practicality, looks, and now energy savings. So, who are the big companies dominating this space? Is it very concentrated?
It's actually described as highly competitive. You've got major global players, names like Hunter Douglas, Springs Window Factions come up, but there are also lots and lots of strong regional players fighting for share.
So, a busy marketplace.
Very much so. Key competitive factors seem to be product innovation, especially smart home integration, offering lots of customization, and really highlighting that energy efficiency angle. And the rise of smart blinds is definitely heating up the competition.
Okay, great. So, to wrap this all up, what are the absolute must know takeaways from this deep dive into the global blinds and shades market?
I'd say, number one,
Hmm.
the market's growing strongly, really robust growth.
Mm.
Two, it's driven by changing tastes. People want style, they want customization, and increasingly, energy efficiency matters.
Got it.
Three, North America and Europe are the biggest markets now, but Asia Pacific is where the fastest action is, the highest growth rate by far.
Right, the one to watch.
Definitely. And finally, within the market, keep an eye on the residential sector and the continuous rise of automated smart systems. Those are key drivers of the expansion we're seeing.
That's a fantastic summary. It really is amazing how something like window coverings reflects these big global shifts in technology, style, and even environmental awareness.
It absolutely does. And it kind of makes you wonder,
Ah, here it comes. The final thought.
yeah, just thinking. With smart home tech advancing so quickly and this growing focus on sustainability, how might our whole idea of window coverings change in, say, the next 10 years? Could they do more than just block light and give privacy? What else might they integrate or become?